afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Got an open man, the tight end Jarwin. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families will go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about, the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The give is to Elliott. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Rohrwasser's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Take it in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, Barnes. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, He is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the pistol, here's Elliott. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Rohrwasser's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for. Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
First down, Prescott.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, Week 7. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott flush to his right. Looking deep for Elliott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Let's go! Interception.
He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Barnes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day, but you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott got his man there, complete to Gallup.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Prescott on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Then he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game, because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw. Boom. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Throwing, Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys!
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Barnes. And this one is incomplete.
Now, these two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, that was not what you would call straight-line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Steps away. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott, eluding the pressure right.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. The 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. It turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This is Tony Pollard. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive. And Prescott, his third interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Second down at 7.
They'll go again with Sanders. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. You think about this strong safety position, and they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott rolling. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Wilson. And the Eagles are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
At the 43-yard line.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
A nice throw there for the first down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but you got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, what, 4, 5, 6 years old and dreamed of playing in it.
And touchdown, Philadelphia! Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw, Prescott. Into the hands of Cooper.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route, that's not the way you're supposed to play it. Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Now Dak
on the move to his left. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
Following the touchdown, Rohrwasser handles the kickoff duties. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Pass complete. Goddard.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now a carry for Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now there's the timeout. Signal for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's caught. And they've won the football game.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and